Hello, dear friends. Welcome back to Grandma Lily English. Here, we learn English in a different way, not by memorizing long lists of words, but through beautiful stories, meaningful conversations, and life lessons that stay with us long after the story ends. Because when a story touches your heart, learning becomes natural. The words become memories, and little by little, those memories become part of your English. If you'd like to learn English in a calm, natural, and enjoyable way, please subscribe and become part of our Grandma Lily family. Now, come in, sit with us, and let's enjoy another summer evening together. Before tonight's story, I'd like to share one small listening tip. Don't be afraid to listen to the same story more than once. The first time, you follow the story. The second time, you notice new words. The third time, you begin to think. In English, learning isn't repetition, it's discovery. Every time you listen, you discover something you didn't notice before.
Hi, dear friends. Welcome back to our wonderful family. Grandma? So, listening again isn't starting over?
Not at all. It's moving forward with better understanding. Tonight, I made honey chamomile tea. My grandmother always served it on evenings when someone needed a little hope. She believed warm tea could calm the hands, and kind words could calm the heart. You seem unusually quiet tonight, my dear. What are you thinking about?
Grandma, can I ask you something?
Of course.
Sometimes, when I watch the news or hear people talking, it feels like the world is becoming a harder place. There are wars, people losing hope, families struggling, and so many problems that no one person can fix. Sometimes, I wonder if one ordinary person can really make any difference.
That's a very important question, Noah, and perhaps one of the oldest questions people have ever asked. Many years ago, someone asked that very same question. Not in a classroom, not in a city, but beside the sea, there was once an old lighthouse keeper. Every single evening night, he climbed the long stone stairs to light a lonely lantern, even on nights when no ships could be seen. People often laughed at him. They would ask, "Why do you keep lighting it? No one is out there."
If no ships were coming, why did he keep doing it?
Because some people don't wait until they're needed to do the right thing. Come closer, my dear. Tonight's story is called The Lantern That Never Went Out. Long ago, on a lonely stretch of coastline, stood an old lighthouse. It wasn't the tallest lighthouse. It wasn't the newest. In fact, many people believed it would soon be forgotten. Every evening, just before sunset, an old lighthouse keeper named Mr. Gabriel climbed the long stone staircase, carrying a small lantern to light the great beacon above. He had done it every single evening for more than 40 years. Some evenings, the sea was calm. Some evenings, storms covered the sky. And some evenings, there wasn't a single ship anywhere on the horizon. Yet, Mr. Gabriel lit the light every night without fail.
Grandma, didn't he ever think, maybe I can skip just one night?
Oh, Many people asked him exactly that, especially a young fisherman named Lucas. Lucas admired the old man, but he couldn't understand him. One evening, he climbed the lighthouse and asked, "Mr. Gabriel, why do you keep doing this? There aren't any ships tonight. No one will even notice." The old lighthouse keeper smiled without saying a word. He finished lighting the beacon. The golden light slowly began to shine across the darkening sea. Only then did he answer, "Mr. Gabriel, the light isn't for the nights when I know someone is coming. It's for the night when someone comes and doesn't know I'm here."
I like that.
Lucas wasn't convinced. He smiled politely, but inside he still believed the old man was wasting his time. Summer passed, autumn arrived, then one cold evening, the weather changed without warning. Dark clouds covered the sky. The wind became fierce. Rain poured down, and the sea grew wild. That night, Mr. Gabriel climbed the stairs just as he always did, step by step, although his knees hurt, although the wind pushed against him, although no one could see him. He lit the beacon, just as he always had. Far out at sea, a small fishing boat was fighting the storm. The captain couldn't see the shore. The compass had broken. The waves kept turning the boat farther into the darkness. Then, through the rain, someone shouted, "Look!" Far away, a warm golden light appeared, the lighthouse. The captain turned the boat toward the light. Hour after hour, they followed it, until finally they reached the harbor, safe and alive. The next morning, the captain knocked on the lighthouse door. Mr. Gabriel opened it, still holding his morning tea. The captain removed his hat and quietly said, "Last night, your light brought us home. If it hadn't been shining, I don't know where we would be today." Mr. Gabriel looked toward the sea. He smiled, the same quiet smile he always wore. Then he said, "That's why I light it every single night. Not because someone always needs it, because someday someone will." Lucas was standing nearby. He had heard everything. For the first time, he truly understood. The lighthouse had never been only about ships. It was about hope. Hope that someone would always leave a light on. Years later, Mr. Gabriel grew old. Eventually, it became time for someone else to care for the lighthouse. The villagers wondered who would continue the tradition. Without saying a word, Lucas stepped forward. Every evening, people would see a warm light shining across the sea. Sometimes, travelers asked, "Is the old lighthouse keeper still there?" Lucas would smile, look toward the light, and quietly answer, "No, but his light is." Dear friends, tonight's grammar is the future simple. We use will to talk about the future or to make predictions. Listen again to Mr. Gabriel's words. Someone will need it someday. Here are a few more examples. You will find your way. Hope will return. Kindness will always matter. Sometimes one small word can carry a great deal of hope.
So I can say, I will keep learning English, even if I still have a long way to go.
Exactly, my dear. And every lesson will bring you one step closer.
Grandma, I think Mr. Gabriel wasn't really protecting ships. He was protecting people's hope.
Exactly, Noah. Sometimes the brightest light isn't the one that helps us see. It's the one that reminds us we're not alone. My dear, Mr. Gabriel understood something that many people never do. We often believe our small actions don't matter. We think, I'm only one person. What difference can I make? But kindness works quietly. Hope works quietly. And sometimes the smallest light travels farther than we could ever imagine. You may never know whose difficult day became a little brighter because of one kind word, one smile, or one moment when you chose not to give up.
I think Mr. Gabriel never lit the lantern because he wanted people to thank him. He lit it because someone might need it, even if he never knew who.
Exactly, my dear. The best things we do are often the ones no one sees, but that doesn't make them any less important. Before we say goodnight, let's open Grandma's window to tomorrow. When people imagine the future, they often think about bigger cities, new inventions, or faster technology. But I hope the future never loses something much simpler. People who care about one another. The future will always need teachers who encourage, parents who listen, friends who stay, neighbors who help, and ordinary people who quietly choose to make someone else's day a little brighter. The world doesn't become better all at once. It becomes better, one act of kindness at a time. Perhaps you will never build a lighthouse, but every one of us can become a small light in someone else's life.
Grandma, can I tell you something?
Always, my dear.
Dad always says, when life feels confusing, spend some time with your grandma. He says she has a way of making complicated things feel simple. I think that's because you never try to impress people. You simply care about them.
Your father has always been very generous. You know, when I was teaching at the university, students sometimes thanked me for helping them pass an exam. But years later, some of them returned and said something far more meaningful. They said, "You helped me believe that I could keep learning." And do you know, that was always the greatest reward, not the grades, not the certificates, but knowing someone had found a little more confidence to continue their journey.
I think that's exactly what your stories do. They don't just teach English, they remind people to keep going.
If our stories help even one person feel a little stronger or a little more hopeful, then every evening we spend together is worth it. Thank you for being here. This week, I'd like to invite you to become someone's lantern, not with something big, just something simple. Encourage someone, help someone, call someone who may be feeling lonely, or simply say, "I'm glad you're here." Small lights can guide people through very dark nights.
I know who I'm going to encourage this week, and I don't think I'll tell them why.
Sometimes the brightest kindness is the quietest one. And that, dear friends, is our story tonight. Remember, the lighthouse didn't shine because someone was watching. It shone because someone might need it. So keep your light burning, even on quiet days, even when no one notices, because somewhere, someone may be searching for exactly the light you carry.
Thank you for spending this peaceful evening with us. Now we'd love to hear from you. Who has been a light in your life? It could be a parent, a teacher, a friend, or anyone who helped you when you needed hope. Write your answer in English in the comments below. Good night, dear friends, and see you all next time.
Until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of one another, and never forget that even the smallest light can guide someone home. Good night, dear friends. Take your time. Keep learning. Keep hoping. And whenever you can, be someone's light.